Remember those childhood cookies that made snack time magical? From crispy, chocolatey classics to chewy, nostalgic favorites, some cookies left a lasting impression, but have since disappeared from store shelves. Join us as we take a delicious trip down memory lane and revisit 20 cookies we'll never forget. Have you ever wondered about all the incredible cookies that have disappeared into the past? Well, it's time to take a nostalgic journey through 20 of these beloved treats that we sadly left behind. Get ready to satisfy your sweet tooth as we revisit these legendary cookies, each one a delicious bite of history. 1. Sunshine Lemon Coolers. What better way to begin than with the iconic Sunshine Lemon Coolers? These powdered sugar-coated cookies had a bright, zesty lemon flavor, like a ray of sunshine in every bite. Produced by Sunshine Biscuits, they were a top seller for years, thanks to their tangy, crumbly texture and irresistible fragrance. Packaged in their signature lemon green box, these cookies were a household favorite, especially among adults and seniors. But in 1996, after Sunshine Biscuits merged with Kibble, these beloved cookies disappeared from store shelves as consumers gravitated toward plainer vanilla options. However, die-hard fans have kept their memory alive through homemade copycat recipes, proving that the love for Sunshine Lemon Coolers never truly faded. But if you think these were the ultimate lemon treat, wait until you hear about the next cookie on our list. 2. Vienna Fingers. Vienna Fingers were an absolute classic. Light, buttery wafers sandwiching a rich vanilla cream center. Originally launched by Keebler, these delicate cookies quickly became a staple in homes across America. Perfectly balanced between crispy and creamy, Vienna Fingers were often paired with tea or coffee, making them an elegant snack that both children and adults enjoyed. Their finger-shaped design and textured surface, embossed with their name, made them instantly recognizable. These cookies date back to 1915, initially known simply as Sunshine Biscuits, before they were rebranded as Vienna Fingers in 1947. By 1985, they had officially become a Keebler signature product. Their popularity even landed them a mention in Neil Simon's 1965 play The Odd Couple, later adapted into a famous film. Although Vienna Fingers are still available in select stores, they are much harder to find today, making them a treasured relic of the past. They had the comforting taste of nostalgia. But if you thought those were a classic, just wait until we talk about the next treat. 3rd, Spritz cookies. A holiday favorite, Spritz cookies were as fun to make as they were to eat. These buttery, delicate cookies were often shaped into festive designs, adding a decorative flair to any dessert table. Made with a simple dough of flour, sugar, eggs, and butter, they were piped through special cookie presses into intricate shapes before being baked and sprinkled with sugar or colorful toppings. Families across America loved making these cookies together, experimenting with almond extract, vanilla filling, and even chocolate chips. For most of the 20th century, Spritz cookies were a holiday staple, but as baking traditions changed, their popularity declined. While some families still make them during Christmas, they're far less common today. But if you thought Spritz cookies were a fun family tradition, the next cookie on our list was even more beloved, especially by kids. 4th, thumbprint cookies. Unlike many cookies that were popular among adults, thumbprint cookies were a favorite among children. Their signature feature? A soft shortbread base with a dollop of jam, nuts or chocolate right in the center. Dating back to the 19th century, these cookies were a staple at holiday gatherings, especially during Christmas and Halloween. Families enjoyed adding their own twist, whether using raspberry jam, almond extract or even sea salt for extra flavor. Making them was simple. 1. Whisk together flour and salt, then mix with butter and sugar. 2. Shape into small dough balls and press a thumbprint into the center. 3. Fill the indentation with jam, bake and enjoy. Though once a festive favorite, their popularity eventually faded, making them a rare find outside of homemade recipes. But if you thought these were a childhood classic, the next cookie on our list was an absolute phenomenon. 5. Snackwell's cookies. Introduced in the 1990s by Nabisco, Snackwell's cookies were a low-fat alternative to traditional cookies, making them an instant hit among health-conscious consumers. These treats were so popular that they sparked what became known as the Snackwell's effect, where dieters, believing them to be healthier, ended up eating more than they normally would. However, the reality was that Snackwells had more sugar and carbs than other options, making them a misleading diet choice. As consumers caught on, demand plummeted, and by 2022, the Snackwell brand officially shut down. Their disappearance from stores marked the end of an era, one where we all believed we could snack guilt-free. If you thought Snackwells had a wild rise and fall, the next cookie on the list had a much sweeter but just as short-lived history. 6. Hello Dolly Bars. If you thought cookies couldn't get more indulgent, meet Hello Dolly Bars, a 7-layer masterpiece of graham crackers, chocolate chips, coconut, butterscotch, and condensed milk. These ultra-sweet cookie bars were a hit in the 1960s and 70s, particularly during the holidays. They were so easy to make that they became a go-to homemade treat. To bake them, you'd 1. Layer graham cracker crumbs, coconut, chocolate chips, nuts, and butterscotch chips. 2. Pour sweetened condensed milk over everything. 3. Bake for 30 minutes, then cut into squares. Despite the deliciousness, concerns over sugar content led to their decline, with newer, healthier cookie options taking their place. But if you're looking for an old-fashioned favorite that still stands the test of time, the next cookie on our list might just be the one. 7. Mexican wedding cookies. Also known as Russian tea cakes or snowball cookies, these buttery, nut-filled confections were famous for their melt-in-your-mouth texture. Made with butter, flour, powdered sugar, and finely chopped nuts, these cookies were often enjoyed during weddings, Christmas, and festive occasions. Their snowy white appearance made them a wintertime favorite, adding a touch of elegance to holiday cookie platters. Despite their global popularity, they've become harder to find in stores. However, their rich, crumbly goodness continues to live on in homemade recipes. Still, few treats were as surprising as the next one on our list. 8. Magic Middles. A true hidden gem, Magic Middles were cookies with a soft, chocolatey center that oozed with every bite. Introduced by Keebler in the late 80s, they were so popular that by 1991, Keebler even released a bite-sized version called Mini Middles. But despite their devoted fanbase, Magic Middles disappeared in the mid-90s, leaving cookie lovers heartbroken. Today, they remain one of the most requested discontinued treats. And just when you thought cookies couldn't get any better, the next treat on our list took things to a whole new level. Pillsbury Fudge Jumbles. Pillsbury Fudge Jumbles were an irresistible treat that won the hearts of cookie lovers in the 1970s and 1980s. These decadent cookies featured a rich, fudgy base topped with a crumbly, strudel-like layer, creating a delightful contrast of textures and flavors. The combination of deep chocolate and buttery crumble made every bite a truly indulgent experience. Introduced by Pillsbury, Fudge Jumbles quickly became a household favorite due to their homemade taste and easy preparation. Perfect for bake sales, potlucks, or simply as a special family treat, they were a beloved part of many childhoods. However, despite their popularity, Pillsbury eventually discontinued fudge jumbles, leaving fans longing for their return. Today, these cookies are remembered with fond nostalgia, representing a time when homemade-style treats brought comfort and joy. Their unique blend of flavors and textures made them stand out, and they remain a cherished memory for those lucky enough to have enjoyed them. Next up is another iconic treat from the past that still holds a special place in many hearts. Ding Dong's hostess, Ding Dongs, along with Twinkies and fruit pies, became legendary snacks under the famous "Tasting is Believing" slogan. While not technically cookies, these chocolate-coated, cream-filled cakes were a childhood staple for many. First introduced in the 1960s, Ding Dongs quickly became one of Hostess's best-selling and most heavily advertised products. Grocery store trips weren't complete without seeing their commercials, often featuring bell sounds that helped kids remember the name. And it worked. Ding Dongs became the ultimate indulgence for children everywhere. These round, hockey puck-sized treats had a smooth chocolate glaze on the outside and a soft, creamy filling inside. Originally, they were wrapped in thin aluminum foil, keeping them from melting and making them perfect for lunchboxes. Unfortunately, in 2012, Hostess declared bankruptcy, ceasing production of Ding Dongs. Though they later returned to store shelves, many longtime fans insist they just don't taste the same. By then, American households had moved on to other snacks, making Ding Dongs yet another nostalgic treat of the past. That story sounds all too familiar, just like our next discontinued favorite. Keebler Fudge Sticks. Keebler Fudge Sticks were a dream come true for chocolate lovers, offering the perfect balance of crispy wafer and rich fudge coating. Introduced by the Keebler elves, these treats became a hit in the 1980s and 1990s for their satisfying crunch and indulgent taste. Each fudge stick featured a light, crispy wafer covered in a smooth, creamy fudge layer, making them hard to resist. They were a go-to after-school snack or a quick chocolate fix at any time of day. Their stick shape made them easy to eat on the go, while the luscious fudge coating provided a luxurious chocolate experience. Despite their devoted fanbase, Keebler eventually discontinued fudge sticks, leaving a noticeable gap in the cookie aisle. Even today, they are fondly remembered as a classic childhood treat, a testament to the magic the Keebler elves brought to their sweet creations. Speaking of magic, our next cookie had such a grip on the public in its heyday that it felt almost like a spell. Iced Animal Cookies. Iced Animal Cookies were a whimsical, sugary delight that many remember from their childhoods. These fun-shaped cookies, coated in pastel-colored icing and sprinkled with tiny decorations, were as visually appealing as they were delicious. The combination of a crunchy cookie and sweet icing made them a hit with both kids and adults. Originally made by Mother's Cookies, these treats became especially popular in the 1980s and 1990s. Their bright colors and playful animal shapes made them a perfect addition to lunchboxes and party tables. Part of the joy came from picking out your favorite animal shape before taking a bite. Though variations of iced animal cookies still exist today, the original version holds a special place in the hearts of those who grew up enjoying them. They represent a time when snacks weren't just about taste, but also about fun and creativity, making them a treasured memory for many. And speaking of cherished memories, our next cookie was a timeless classic that made countless moments even sweeter. Chocolate wafers, Nabisco. Chocolate wafers were a versatile delight, enjoyed both as a snack and as a key ingredient in countless dessert recipes. These thin, crisp wafers boasted a deep chocolate flavor, making them a favorite among cookie lovers. Their unique texture and bold cocoa taste set them apart, turning them into a staple for treats like icebox cakes and chocolate crumb crusts. First introduced in the early 20th century, Nabisco chocolate wafers quickly became a kitchen essential across America. Their rich flavor and delicate crunch made them ideal for elegant, no-bake desserts that showcased their signature taste. While many enjoyed them in recipes, plenty of people loved eating them straight from the box for a simple yet satisfying chocolate fix. Sadly, Nabisco discontinued these beloved wafers in 2023 after years of declining sales. However, their place in dessert history remains undeniable, and their lasting popularity suggests that a comeback wouldn't be surprising. This story mirrors the fate of our next nostalgic treat: iced oatmeal cookies. With just a few ingredients, you could whip up dozens of delicious oatmeal cookies. Why not bake some for the whole family? Iced oatmeal cookies are a classic comfort food that many remember from childhood. Featuring a chewy, wholesome oatmeal base topped with a sweet icing glaze, these cookies offered the perfect blend of hearty texture and sugary indulgence. A staple in many households throughout the 1980s and 1990s, these cookies carried a nostalgic charm. Their warm, homey flavor brought a sense of comfort with every bite, often enjoyed alongside a cold glass of milk. While some versions of iced oatmeal cookies are still available today, the classic recipes that people grew up with have become harder to find. For many, these cookies represent a simpler time when snacks were both wholesome and indulgent, offering a sweet escape from everyday life. They were a joy in every bite, much like the next treat on our list: Giggles. New Giggles cookies, two kinds of cream in each funny face. Giggles cookies were a delightful snack that brought smiles to children in the 1980s. Produced by Nabisco, these playful sandwich cookies featured two whimsical faces on the outside with a delicious cream filling in the center. Available in both vanilla and chocolate flavors, Giggles were as fun to look at as they were to eat. The unique smiling faces made them an instant hit, turning snack time into a moment of pure joy. Each bite delivered the perfect balance of crisp cookie and smooth, creamy filling, making them an irresistible treat. Despite their popularity, Giggles cookies were eventually discontinued, leaving fans disappointed. Yet, their memory lives on in the hearts of those who grew up enjoying their cheerful designs and delicious taste. Although they no longer line store shelves, their legacy remains strong, a reminder of a time when snacks were not just delicious but also fun. Similarly, our next cookie brought a certain glow to dinner tables during its heyday. Sunshine Hydrox, Sunshine Hydrox, the original chocolate sandwich. Cookie. Before Oreos took over the cookie aisle, Hydrox was the original chocolate sandwich cookie, first introduced in 1908 by the Sunshine Biscuit Company. These cookies featured a crisp, dark chocolate wafer paired with a creamy vanilla filling, delivering a perfectly balanced taste that won over generations of fans. Unlike many other sandwich cookies, Hydrox was made with pure vegetable shortening, free from animal fats, making them a preferred choice for those seeking a high-quality, wholesome treat. The name Hydrox was inspired by the purity of hydrogen and oxygen, reflecting the brand's commitment to quality ingredients. For decades, they were a staple in American households, beloved for their distinctive flavor and crisp texture. However, in 1999, Keebler acquired Sunshine and decided to discontinue the beloved cookie. A nostalgic push led to a brief comeback in 2015, but they soon became difficult to find again. Despite their disappearance from store shelves, Hydrox cookies remain an iconic part of snack history. They symbolize an era when simplicity and quality were paramount, leaving behind a legacy that cookie lovers still cherish today. Speaking of legacy, our next treat was just as unforgettable. One that tasted like it came straight from grandma's oven. Almost home cookies. Almost home cookies? The soft-baked comfort of the 80s, Nabisco introduced almost home cookies in the 1980s, offering a soft-baked treat that tasted just like it was fresh from the oven. Available in classic flavors like chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin, these cookies quickly became a household favorite. Their slogan, "Almost Home," perfectly captured the comforting, nostalgic feeling they evoked, making them a go-to choice for those craving homemade-style goodness without the effort. Launched in 1983, during the soft cookie craze, Almost Home cookies stood out for their rich, buttery dough and generous mix-ins of chocolate chunks or plump raisins. Their chewy texture and authentic taste made them a hit, offering a satisfying treat reminiscent of homemade baking. Even the packaging design played into the nostalgia, featuring embroidery-like patterns that evoked memories of grandmother's cross-stitched creations. Despite their initial success, Almost Home cookies were eventually discontinued. However, they remain a cherished memory for those who grew up enjoying their soft-baked perfection. They represented a time when store-bought treats felt homemade, bringing a little warmth to every bite. But even these beloved cookies couldn't match the excitement stirred up by our next treat, one that was the very definition of zesty, citrusy delight. Savannah Smiles. Savannah Smiles, a sweet and tangy tribute to Girl Scouts introduced in 2012, Savannah Smiles quickly became a fan favorite among Girl Scout cookies. These delightful, bite-sized lemon cookies had a crisp texture, a dusting of powdered sugar, and a perfectly balanced sweet tart flavor. Named after Savannah, Georgia, the birthplace of Girl Scouts founder Juliet Gordon Low, these treats honored the organization's legacy while delivering a bright, zesty twist to traditional cookie flavors. With their unique wedge shape and just the right number of lemon chips, Savannah Smiles provided tiny bursts of happiness in every bite. Their cheerful, citrusy flavor stood out from the crowd, offering a refreshing alternative to richer, chocolate-based cookies. Every crunch brought a taste of sunshine, making them a popular seasonal favorite. Unfortunately, in 2019, Savannah Smiles were retired, leaving fans longing for their return. Despite their brief run, they remain a beloved part of Girl Scout cookie history, remembered for their light, airy texture and vibrant lemony goodness. They proved that sometimes a little tangy sweetness is all you need to brighten your day. And speaking of bright and bold flavors, our next cookie was the ultimate peanut butter lover's dream, one you simply couldn't resist. Peanut Butter Crunch Cookie. Peanut Butter Crunch cookies were a beloved classic, known for their irresistible crunch and rich, nutty flavor. These cookies perfectly blended the crispiness of a traditional biscuit with the creamy, savory goodness of peanut butter, making them an all-time favorite for peanut butter lovers. Best enjoyed with a cold glass of milk, they quickly became a household staple, bringing comfort and delight to both kids and adults alike. Creating these delicious treats required simple pantry staples: peanut butter, light brown sugar, granulated sugar, butter, eggs, flour, and a hint of baking powder. The process was just as easy. First, beat together the peanut butter, sugars, butter, and eggs until smooth, then mix in the flour and baking powder. After rolling the dough into small balls and flattening them, they baked to golden perfection in about 20 minutes. Once cooled, they were ready to be devoured. Despite their popularity, peanut butter crunch cookies have become harder to find in stores. leaving a nostalgic craving for those who remember their signature taste. They remain a cherished memory, reminding us of a time when simple, homemade flavors brought pure joy to everyday life. And now, last but not least, we move on to a cookie with a timeless, generationally beloved taste. English tea cookies, mothers. English tea cookies were the epitome of elegance, a light, buttery treat that paired perfectly with a warm cup of tea. Produced by the iconic Mother's Cookies brand, these delicate biscuits featured a subtly sweet flavor, often infused with hints of vanilla or almond. Their crisp, crumbly texture and smooth, rich filling made them a refined yet satisfying indulgence. Unlike other overly sugary snacks, English tea cookies struck the perfect balance between sweetness and richness, offering a comforting, melt-in-your-mouth experience. They weren't just a favorite in the US. Their sophisticated taste won over cookie lovers worldwide. For decades, these cookies were a staple in American households, symbolizing warmth, tradition, and the simple pleasure of sharing a treat with loved ones. However, as time passed, they became increasingly rare in stores, leaving behind only fond memories for those who grew up enjoying their delicate taste. And that wraps up our list of 20 unforgettable cookies that will always have a special place in our hearts and our taste buds. Which ones were your favorites? Did we miss any classics? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deliciously nostalgic videos. Until next time.